Oh, should hopefully be up and running here in a moment. Apparently my computer just flat out tanked. Lee is trying to start up right now. I'm not sure what's going on though. It's full screening. Work? No? Whoa. What the hell's going on? Alright. Gonna plot.
Cannot comply.
Huh? My hard points out. I don't have hard points at all.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, so I had a little system crash, some blue screen I haven't seen in ages. There we go, stream's finally up. Okay.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Oh shoot, my track IR's not on. My microphone on? My microphone. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay. This. Ah. Oh god. The music player's right in the middle of the screen.
Fuel scooping.
Here comes the sun. Do 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 do.
Fuel
Here
scooping
comes the
complete.
sun.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, Captain's log isn't running, damn it. That's what I was missing, was Captain's log.
Fuel scooping.
Make this next jump, I'll need to make sure
Fuel
that...
scooping complete. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Okay. Just monitor for this first jump, make sure it's working.
Frameshift drive charging.
As soon as it jumps, I should get a recording of it. Shoot, it's not recording. Oh, there it is. Good.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Minimize that. Okay. Let's see if I can fire this back up.
It's always easy.
Traveler or something.
Yeah. Man, I love those cutscenes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Adam Hollister writes, "Hi Thumbs. I was listening to episode 230 tonight, and Jake's supposed inability to fully finish a Mario Maker level reminded me of something I've been thinking about recently. I'm a web developer by trade, and often come across a problem with motivating myself to finish any personal projects. I seem to go full speed until I hit the point when I realized I could finish within a week or so. At that point, I lose a ton of motivation, to the point where that last week might end up being more than 2 or 3 months, during which I'll likely start another project and leave the original one behind. I'm starting to get the feeling that I don't really care about creating a finished product as much as I care about proving to myself that I can, so as soon as I realize I'm capable of finishing, I don't feel the need to. I'd be fascinated to hear if any of you guys have the same issue, and if so, what kind of unfinished projects do you have in your past that have suffered due to this affliction, apart from the obvious cache of unfinished Mario Maker levels gathering dust in Jake's Wii. Keep up the great work, guys. Adam Hollister." Sadly, in the case of both me and Jake, Idle Thumbs and all things related to Idle Thumbs are like the prime offenders in that category, which is the worst, because we're terrible.
And Spath, if you go back far enough into
That's
Idle
true.
Thumbs' history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I remember a new front page of that.
Oh, there was a really good full redo of Idle Thumbs, the news site, circa 2007 or 8 that was going to blow people's minds. Yeah, I don't know. That's for total free time projects that are actually just for fun. That is often my MO completely. Is just,
Yeah.
oh, here's an interesting idea. Oh yeah, I proved that out enough that I could see it happen. Why bother finishing it? You know, like Mario Maker for me is definitely that of just, oh, I want to do this, my version of this thing that I've seen in a Mario game or this idea that I've had, and then I play it a couple times and it works, and then I go, oh, cool, when I finish that, it'll be really cool for someone else to play. Save, file, quit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's a not uncommon thing with people who just make things for themselves, because if you're truly making something for yourself, it doesn't really matter if you agree with me.
I think you're basically right, except that you could make the argument that even if you're making something solely for yourself, you don't actually know if you've achieved it. It's hard to honestly appraise whether you've done the thing you set out to do if the completed version still only lives in your brain, and if it's never survived first contact with reality or another person. Like you can tell yourself like, oh, I totally proved this out, but like you don't actually really know if you did until
that's entirely true. I think that just comes down to whether or not you're admitting to yourself that you're actually just playing around, or you're making something or solving a problem or trying to prove something to yourself.
Yeah. If your goal is simply to enjoy yourself by like fiddling around with something until you reach some like arbitrary kind of just
It's like noodling around on a guitar versus writing and performing a song versus recording a song or whatever.
right. Yeah. It's all spectrum for sure. Yes.
Cannot comply.
All right. So let's see.
One thing about that in relation to websites in particular
yeah.
that I kind of miss now that people don't tend to have static web servers that they host all of their own stuff on anymore is I used to have on whatever my website was, like whatever my sort of personal homepage in just on an HTTP server, just these amazing cataloged archives of years of sort of
Oh,
started
yeah.
projects or sort of scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And I only have the last one left, but like I had one in high school and college. Then I had for a while I had a subdomain on the Idle Thumbs website that I would just dump anything up that I wanted to show to someone else. And then now I have one like on Melt Wizard, my unused website. But being able to just have that crazy archive doesn't. I'm sure that exists, like maybe on Dropbox or something, but people tend to clear the Dropbox off because it's on your hard drive. It's like
My version of all of this
I don't
is-
clear my Dropbox off, but it's a repository for so much different stuff that it's not useful in the way you're talking about.
Yeah, where you-
Anyway, sorry, Nick.
No, my version of this is just Google Docs. I have Google Docs going back to like
yeah.
2006 that are just hundreds of Google Docs. And if I have an idea, I'll just make a new Google Doc. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's basically, functionally useless. The front page now, which just
Right,
like
yeah.
there are finished works, there are half finished works. There's like just notes. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
Like reading through the notes on your iPhone that go back forever, and they're just all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like every single note you've
Yeah.
ever taken is
Yeah.
like lists.
Yeah, no, that-
Seen and stupid
Mine are,
things you need
mine
to
are mainly
Google.
just observations about Twin Peaks episodes for the Twin Peaks podcast Jake and I did.
Yeah, that's true, but
Yeah, it's crazy to look through like decade plus old stuff that you started and never finished. It's a weird experience.
Yeah, I have a USB stick that has like actual materials on it that I've just carried through years.
Yeah.
It
Actual
exists.
materials.
Yeah, well, not just like docs, but just like stuff.
DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Genome.
Silk.
So Jenna Hull writes, "Hey Thumbs." What?
Oh, I'm talking about actual
Rugs.
materials.
Paper and glass.
Jenna Hull writes, "Hey Thumbs, I have a running theory that the true demographics for both the Minions movie as well as World of Tanks and the other strategy war games of that kind is dads. I came home to Illinois this week to visit my middle-aged father and the rest of my family, and while at home, he played a lot of World of Tanks. During this time, it appears he was able to add some sort of Minions sound pack to the game, and successfully landing a hit on an enemy tank results in a minion laughing. I have attached a screenshot of the hours played listed on my dad's Steam account as of October 22nd. He has played over 1,100 hours of War Thunder. My dad has been playing video games since before I was born, being very into the Fallout and Jagged Alliance games when I was younger, as well as any number of sports games. He got very into flight sims when I was in high school, the mid-2000s, and since then has been into Skyrim. I also found a stack of games while home, including Crysis 2. So Nick, when you're hanging out playing World of Tanks or Warships or Warplanes, that person who just killed you may be a middle-aged man from Illinois who also has a second Facebook account so that he can gift himself extra Candy Crush moments. Jenna Genegatron from the forums."
Oh, yeah. No, that's totally
With
the case.
Minion sound pack. Also, I don't think that we can laugh too hard at the Minion sound pack as people who will all probably universally, who all probably universally have at least a double-digit hours of Worms Armageddon or a game like that under their belts,
Yeah.
which basically just comes with a fucking Minion sound pack in like
Yeah.
three different
That's true.
three different
In three different
offensive
accents,
accents. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
someone's probably made a Minions sound pack you can sideload into that old late 90s Worms Armageddon. Because I definitely played with a Psychonauts and Sam and Max sound pack when I played a bunch
I
of
recall a
Oh,
Monty
man, really?
Python
Yeah.
one.
I never did that. I never.
I recall a Monty Python soundtrack.
I
Of
didn't
course,
have
of
that.
course, you recall that.
British person.
Fine. Mighty Python.
Fuel scooping.
Yep.
Nathaniel Burdick writes, "Hey Thumbs, I was playing Downwell on iPhone and I felt the controls were becoming less responsive. Naturally, I blamed the hardware rather than myself and decided to see if the screen would invert if I flipped the phone over, giving me a new bit of screen for the controls. Really good. The game didn't flip, but I decided to try a run upside down. I was surprised by how easily I adjusted to the new perspective. In fact, the game immediately felt less frantic because I was no longer falling, but instead flying upward of my own volition. Also, I found I preferred the directional controls under my right hand despite years of conditioning otherwise. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts if you give it a try. And do you have similar examples of playing games differently than the developer intended? Thanks, Nate
I just
Burdick."
basically turned it into a classic vertical shooting.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That is a way more classic
Weird.
perspective.
Ruined.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because you're shooting up from the top of the screen.
yeah,
It's just shooting upwards and going forwards. Like all
I hope that this
games
mode
like
becomes popular, and I also hope that it is called Upside Down Well.
Me too.
You
now.
son of a
Fuel
bitch.
scooping.
That makes itself. That names itself.
I know you observed it correctly.
Playing games differently. We had
Scoping complete.
a long time ago. I ran a thing called a Game-a-thon in my house for 3 days, where people came over.
Like a LAN party.
Yeah, but there was no LAN. Well, there was a LAN, but that was only a piece of it.
Oh, so it was a party?
It was like console games every day. And then I bought a bunch of Atari joysticks and sprayed them gold to make gold joystick awards, and then we basically had tournaments of everything. But a bunch
Yeah.
of those games we found fun ways to play, like Sonic the Hedgehog Upside Down, or like trying to get the fastest time but have the fewest rings whilst playing Upside Down, that kind of stuff. That was
Right.
good.
Nice.
Good fun times. When you can do that when you're 20. Fill your house with idiots.
Yeah. That's cool.
Fuel scooping.
Can't remember if I've done
I
weird.
know, I've got nothing.
Well, Spath had the best answer that we're going to come up with. So. Playing
That's
Sonic
true.
the Hedgehog upside down point trial, no rings.
I remember when I was testing,
Frameshift
I was a
drive
tester back in
charging.
the day, and we were testing some kind of Formula One game for months on end, and we started trying to play like the other person's screen, so like swapping controllers and then starting at the same time and then trying to get as far as I can on the other person's screen, which doesn't last very long and is terrible. But when you're a tester, as many people listening to this may know, you have to come up with lots of interesting things to keep your mind from raking and falling asleep.
I remember when the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games were out, I would just connect the guitar and try and play all games with it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
most of them
that's
were
the
basically
best.
impossible. Yeah, but it was really fun. Racing games were pretty doable,
Frameshift drive charging.
especially when they mapped to the like using the like strum bar as left and right. I can't remember like which platforms ended up having those work for what, but
We
That
played
was
a
a good
bunch
time.
of games using dance mats that weren't supposed to have it. We burn out the dance mats, which was a really weird choice, but it's good. And we played track and field with a dance mat so that you actually had to run on the spot and then like jump onto a button to like launch yourself over a pit or something.
yeah, I remember doing that too.
It's good. But yeah, dance mats to play other weird games is the best.
I'm playing Downwell Upside Down right now, and it's
Upside Down well.
fucking weird. Like the shooting part makes sense, but like the jumping, you're basically just applying brakes, I guess. It's weird, like it's odd. There's no like consistent metaphor I can think of to describe why your guy sort of just leaps backwards.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's hard. I don't think I would be good at this. Although, you know,
He
I guess I
says.
can see it.
60 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how you could get used to this, but I'm not going to. Anyway, that is that. Thank you for listening to Idle Thumbs. If you would like to send us mail, as Jake suggested earlier, you can send it to questions@idlethumbs.net. We have a number of other shows available at idlethumbs.net, including Esports Today with Rob Zachney and Andrew Gruen, and Designer Notes with Soren Johnson and frequently Adam Saltzman interviewing other video game developers. Terminal 7, if you like Netrunner. It's a good bunch of shows. You can find them all there. We are soon, hopefully soon. I know we missed our kind of October hope, but we are in fact hoping to soon launch Idle Weekend with Rob Zachney and Danielle Riendo, formerly of this podcast. So keep an eye out for that. And if you like this or any of our other shows, please tell a friend. Consider leaving us a rating on iTunes. We love it a lot when you do that. It's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting to me.
It is.
We're all excited, Chris. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, this was gaming's awkward teen years.
Yeah.
They're still in those years.
There's still.
Well, this was sort of like
Benjamin Buttoning back
gawky
into
young
just like-
teen years was 2008, and now it's like angry teen years.
That's
is where
true.
we
Yeah,
are now.
that's true. Now it's angsty teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the era.
Now everyone hates their mom and dad a lot.
And women.
And women. Yeah. So okay, they'll grow out of it into an aloof, shitty college student,
Yep.
and then they'll be unemployed.
Then we'll start posting up MRA forums.
Shit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful Friday, November 6th. This is episode 24 of the Giant Beastcast.
This unseasonably warm November Friday.
What is going on with this war?
What is going on?
It's like 70 degrees. I just hate when the seasons don't know their role. It's 70
that's
degrees.
What you would say.
Perhaps you should lay the smack down.
I'm not trying to do a rock thing.
Are you sure?
You kind of did one, though.
I know. I didn't call spring, fall a jabroni.
I mean, it's being kind of a jabroni right now.
It is. It's being a dick. Stop with your 70
hoodie weather, and it's definitely like carry a hoodie around with you.
Yeah, and never take it out.
When I was a kid, the seasons knew their
No.
place.
This isn't one of
Seasons
those.
wouldn't talk back.
This isn't one of those. This is
one of those
Stop.
millennial seasons that doesn't know how the world is supposed to work, and it just wants us to do all the
All
work
these
for
falls,
it.
they just want to be summer, and they don't want to work for it. They just think like, oh, I've been here 2 weeks, I can be summer. And
Well,
it's like,
I'm
no,
not
you-
ready to live in a world of two seasons.
Austin Walker, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Alex Navarro, how you doing?
I'm warm.
Jeff's Bacalar season. I don't. I got
That's
nothing.
nothing.
Fall Bacalar.
Yeah, set
Spring
your clocks back alarm.
I will let that one pass.
Everybody, speaking of season, this is the reason for the season. Happy N7 Day Eve to everybody.
Like
What?
November 7th, like N7, is that what you're
N7,
doing?
Yeah,
Like Mass Effect?
It's a thing.
No, it isn't.
Oh,
Did
you
we
don't-
May the 4th this shit and I wasn't looking?
You guys don't celebrate?
Wait a minute.
I would if I had known. No one
Yeah.
has spread the good word to me.
If you haven't heard the good
I
word,
have not heard the good news.
Sorry, I haven't put up my my Garrus decorations yet.
Well, Austin, allow me to spread the good word of N7 Day because it is coming up.
The top thing you found was them saying they're not giving any news about Mass Effect tomorrow
So that's
on N7 Day. That's
the,
a shame.
The reason I bring this up,
But they have to mention it. That's the thing.
listen, I'm not here to spread my N7
right.
to everybody else. You do what you want.
You're not a missionary.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I prefer to keep it secular here.
Yeah, so like I'm just saying, there's no news coming out on November 7th for whatever the new Mass Effect
Andromeda.
is.
We know there's a
Mass Effect
thing.
Andromeda. That's a game.
Doesn't the N stand for Normandy or something?
No.
Or that's the ship.
That's like his class.
It stands for new shit.
No, his ship is the
It
Normandy.
is. That's just a coincidence.
Okay.
Like
The
N7
letter N does appear elsewhere in that series, too.
N7
If you really want to draw some lines here.
It does, but what does that N stand for? It's not November.
What's a different
November.
language? It's not even an N. It's an alien thing that looks like an N. We call it an N.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, because that would I believe that.
But it's
in a
like
minute.
that Spectres are N7 agents.
This podcast is brought to you by the letter N and the number 7.
It stands for Mass Effect.
It stands for
So-
Special Forces?
No, it doesn't.
There's no N in Special Forces.
It designates the special forces.
And the 7 is the highest level of proficiency.
Yeah, it's pretty high. You go to O.
It's
seven.
way cooler. It's the November 5th thing.
There is a
Beef
fabled
Vendetta thing is
there
way
is a
cooler.
fabled N8 rank, but after L. Ron Hubbard died, they've been waiting for someone to be reborn to write the tech that will allow people to get to that higher
Programs.
plane of. Never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Higher plane of Nevermind.
It was a real shame when Shepard took down Xenu. It was a rough time for everybody.
I mean, look, someone had to save those midichlorians or whatever the fuck it
I
is
think
they
that's
have.
a different one.
You know what? Who
midichlorians.
gives a shit?
Yeah, so that's apparently I'm still
Not sure if people are celebrating N7 Day. Just putting it out there.
BioWare celebrating.
The fandom, like the BioWare fandom.
If it trends,
runs-
on
real.
Saturday, it's
it is
real.
real.
It's
I had
real.
a friend.
You
I had a
had-
friend. I had a
Past
friend
tense,
once.
past tense.
I had a friend who almost flew into New York to go to like a Dragon Age meetup they were having.
Yeah.
During Comic Con, like not to go to Comic Con, to go to the Dragon Age meetup because like that's how deep their fandom
Right.
runs.
No, that's worth it. That's
And,
worth
yeah, I'm just gonna let you know N7 is being celebrated.
All right. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Share what N7 means to you. Without question, Mass Effect inspires pride and passion within our community. We want you to share that passion with us. What's your favorite Mass Effect memory? Got a cozy N7 hoodie to show off?
I do see a lot of those.
Have an
hoodies.
all-time favorite quote from the series you'd like to share?
Really looking forward to Obama's N7-day address.
Yeah.
Did you cosplay?
He's gonna have to.
He's gonna latest con?
Frameshift drive
The Pope will lead us in prayer.
Whatever it is, we encourage you to share what N7 means to you by joining the conversation at hashtags I won't mention. So, but the news here is that apparently smoke on the street is no news. That's what N stands for. No news.
That's because you're a special operative. No one knows you're there.
Yeah.
No news.
Stands for never mind. Let's get on with this podcast.
Nobody will know.
I'm excited for that
Man, I'm a
Mass
Mass
Effect.
Effect fan, so
too.
this is
I
important.
like
to
Mass
me.
Effect. I do.
I love.
You know what I also like? Let's jump in here. Tomb Raider.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do it.
I do. Can we talk about Tomb Raiding?
so I got like a little bit of a sign off on some of that chatter.
Go
some
on.
Of that
What do you mean?
Tomb Raiding chatter.
So you're saying that possibly, maybe that there was some information that you can share.
Yeah, I mean, so there's been a lot of preview video stuff floating around there. If you've been on the internet the last couple of days,
And I have.
the game does come out Tuesday, but I've been playing it for about almost a week now.
So you do have a copy.
Yeah, I got it.
It exists.
And you're going to talk about. Are you stalling?
Yeah, no, I'm not stalling. So I can only kind of talk about like maybe the first 2 hours ish.
I've heard no story stuff.
Yeah, no story
Can
stuff.
you talk about how you feel about it?
I can't relay you a cutscene right now.
Here's-
Oh no!
Here are my questions for you.
Yeah, what's up? Hopefully, I can answer.
In those opening hours,
Yes.
is there a tomb?
Yes.
Do you rate it?
Yes.
Okay. Second question.
I like this. This is the
And
right way to do
this
it.
is not like I don't want details or any of
Yeah.
that. The framing device we saw in those trailers with her talking to her psychiatrist and all that stuff, does that appear?
I
I
have
don't
to
know if
plead
you
the
can talk
fifth.
about
there.
that.
I don't know. Again, I'm not asking for the content of it. I'm just
Sure.
asking, is that still the framing device in that game?
I don't know if you can answer that. I'm Jeff's lawyer. My client would like to just reiterate that he cannot talk about cutscenes and story.
Fine.
See
Okay.
this paper?
Last question.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Well,
You know?
for the moment, yeah. I mean, feel free to elaborate beyond this
Sure,
if you like.
of
But this is the
course.
last question I have. How much quick-timey stuff did you encounter in those early portions?
My knee-jerk reaction is 0.
Really?
No quick. No button presses when they show up on the screen.
They
and
do
then-
that same
No,
like.
mash the X button to pull the rebar out of your
Is
side.
that a quick? Is that a quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So they do like that to like jack open a door.
That's not quite the same.
That's not a quick time.
Oh, I don't know. Unless you're
That's not a
running.
quick time.
I look at quick times as
It's
like
a cut- as a cut
one-off
scene.
events that
Yeah.
use the same mechanics over and over again.
See, I'll say a quick time event is there a fail state?
What do you elaborate?
So if you don't hit the button in time, that something happens.
So
Like something bad happens.
so you can fight like a really big animal early on.
Yeah.
And
Just get in your face.
Yeah, he's
You
up in there,
triangle to
yeah.
be like, oh no, get away from
So
me.
no, so the thing is like if you don't dodge, it'll kind of like inject you into a quick time thing where you can then you have a safety net to get out of being mauled.
Okay.
That's not. I guess that's quick time easy.
It's in the vein.
Yeah, but that's not that breaks up the action.
That's at
of
least like a
fighting the
fast
animal.
moment event.
Yeah.
Let me change the language here, okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Is there a quickly timed event where you have to push a button quickly and it's timed?
No, look, I am usually very turned off by those things. I have not been turned off by quick time events
Can
in
I-
2
Oh
hours.
my.
Can I take the conch shell here? Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you like it?
I do.
Did you like the original?
Yeah.
And by the original, I mean the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
I did.
From what you've played,
Yes.
thing that
And these but none of these impressions are final.
no,
sure.
no,
Yeah,
you're
you've just
obviously-
been
Let's just-
playing
Talking
through.
like it's you and me.
You ain't done.
We're
This is
carving an impression statue out of
course,
clay here.
of
Who
course.
knows what it'll
We're
look like?
throwing stuff. Yeah.
We're the Jackson Pollock of review. We're just
Yeah,
spraying
splatter.
it. Yeah, it's all over the place.
That's my technique.
Who knows what the final review will look like?
Right.
All right. So I liked the first Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I even liked it despite a lot of the criticisms that people had.
And those were what?
Too actiony, not enough tomb raiding. I was able to look past a little of the gratuitous violence stuff, like,
There's that.
and liked it
there's
despite
so
that.
rough.
Like I can
Yeah.
acknowledge that. Like,
It's-
yeah, that's a criticism. But overall, I liked it as taking all the parts together.
Yeah.
So, but these are things that I would like to see addressed in this one, and one of those being like, well, in the original one, she's kind of this. She's like almost like a student, right? Is that she's
She's still finding her way.
yeah.
She seems interny. Yeah.
and the actions that she's the things she has to do seem to impact her when it's appropriate for the storytelling,
but not otherwise.
So like, you know, she'll have to kill a deer and it's like, that's really sad, or she shoots a guy and that's a real fucking bummer.
Yeah.
But then she goes on and murders people, everything.
Yeah, she's stone
but in
cold.
ways that stone cold, in ways that are like, listen, like Laura, you don't have to like lick the knife. I get it.
Well,
like
she
that's,
doesn't lick the knife.
but like you know,
what, yeah.
you don't have to take
I know
the
what you're
arrow
saying.
out of your quiver and then jam it underneath his like soft palate to like get the job done here.
I mean, the premise there always was that, you know, the circumstances had become a great deal more dire than what you would see in the old game. So it was sort of like a fight for survival against all the odds. So, you know, in those situations, you're just going for the super violent death because that's the easiest, most assured way to kill the people who are trying to kill you.
Okay, so possibly, but then going back to Alex's question again, it's like, okay, so then like she's gonna have some issues, right? Like some mental issues of like, I killed a lot of people.
Like anybody would have those issues.
And
Right.
I'm not really trained for doing that.
But you
I mean,
can't.
I would like to. Sorry, not direct, but I would like to think that would be the case. But I mean, it's not like we haven't seen plenty of characters that do the same shit without ever stopping to think about it. Like Nathan Drake, for
but
God's
they
sakes.
never frame Nathan Drake as like the inexperienced one who's never done this shit. Like there's the scene early on in the last Tomb Raider where it is like, oh, I'm going to kill this deer, I guess.
Right.
And it goes from that to like, now I'm just, you know,
Now I'm just
killing
jabbing
12
arrows in your
people.
throat, yeah.
Or like even worse than that, just like careful tactical planning on how to kill these 12 people without any of them knowing I'm there.
And like again, like I'm not trying to say I didn't like the game. It was just one of those. I don't want to.
It was a big shift from what those games used to be.
Is it called Ludo narrative?
narrative.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like the scenes they set up in the cutscenes of like shaking hands and like, oh my god, the blood's on my hands, to the like, I'll fucking massacre everybody in this camp right now. No survivors.
Drake is always saying, I'll massacre everybody in this
And
camp.
Drake, hey, just for the record, Drake never draws blood. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no blood.
He
in that
never
game.
draws blood. Those guys are just sleeping.
They're just
Right,
ragdolls.
right.
It's all an elaborate hallucination.
It's all right. And Drake's just tripping the entire time.
That's it. Yeah.
Anyway, so like, is that stuff still? Are they still working on building her up as a sympathetic
So again,
character?
that probably that probably
That dives
lives
too
in
deeply.
the story stuff. But I'll tell you this: you're straight up killing quick in this game.
Yeah. Within those
And-
first 2 hours, you
yeah,
kill. How many
and-
people do you kill?
Have
you lost count?
I've probably 30, 40. I mean, I'm killing a lot of Russian people.
There's no way to like.
Yeah,
Are they Russian?
Yeah, I think they're Russian.
And
you're at this like Russian base to start the game.
And like, I know what
they're
people will
actually-
say is like, oh man, it's a video game, give it up. And like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of poking at it, but just because I like that. I like the part of like, I like where it's like, yeah, this person's a human, and like killing 30 guys should be a big deal.
Sure.
It draws attention to it in a way that other games don't, because like they are presenting her as this character who might not have that initial drive to just start murdering everyone who is causing her problems, as opposed to other video game heroes and heroines who generally don't make a lot of bones about
But it's
that.
a have your cake and eat it too situation,
Yeah.
right? It's like, well, you want me to have this emotional connection to the trauma that's happening here, and also you want me to continue going down this path like it's no big deal.
And I'm not sure I was ever really presented. Maybe it's just the way I played, but I'm
No,
not sure
but-
I was presented with an alternative.
Right, for the most part, I don't think you are.
Like stealth
But you're
through
right.
it.
The first Tomb Raider definitely, made you feel one way, but just didn't look the other way when the rest of the game played out.
Right.
From the start of this one, you're just
Okay.
all that goes out the window. I mean, you're straight.
She
up
has
killing.
become the action heroine she was sort of meant to be, even if there are perhaps some lingering issues.
Yeah, whatever deep-seated stuff. Well, I guess that'll have to get sorted out. When with the trauma experts.
That'll like blow up in like Tomb Raider 5. Just
like,
like,
oh my
wow,
God.
Like, oh, you cannot come back
all of a
home.
sudden it's like shell shock.
I've been running on adrenaline for 7 years.
Oh, dinosaurs and tombs and just everything. It's all coming back now. I gotta go back out.
The thing with the first Tomb Raider game I really liked all the Crystal Dynamics, right? That's the guys who
Yeah.
I liked all the reboot stuff that they had done before the Tomb Raider reboot, that proper one from, what was that, 2013, I guess?
Yeah. It was 13.
And my whole thing was like, but
13
this
or
never
14,
really
right.
feels like the puzzle-solving Tomb Raider that I love.
That you grew up.
Right, the one where it's like, you're not getting through this. Like, you just have to
Go to GameFAQs.
Go somewhere else,
Yeah.
because there's 11 pixels on the screen, and you got to figure out what
Which
order
one's the
you have to
key,
hit them
right?
all in.
I
Like,
don't know if it's just me. I guess it's just me, but like I guess I didn't have as much of a problem with that because I never really liked those old Tomb Raider games. Like, it's not that I thought they were bad. I never really got into the puzzles.
Yeah.
Right.
And the character was just another, like, kind of sassy blank slate for a long time that,
Yeah.
you know, people just wanted to ogle over. Like, I don't everything about it just didn't do it for me.
I was
feel
a-
like Crystal D's direction,
Sure.
like, yeah, more violent and definitely less puzzle solving, but I feel like it's a much more coherent portrait of a character and about like an actual person.
I think that's a fair thing to say. You know, for me, I was obsessed with 1 through, I guess, 3.
Yeah, those are the ones.
I really played religiously, but yeah, I definitely like where that reboot went. I love the tomb stuff. I love the puzzle stuff. It's already more prevalent in Rise of the Tomb Raider. So if you're into that, it happens kind of quick.
And this is Xbox One only for now?
For now, it's timed.
PC, I think, early next
It's going
year,
to come
and then
to
PS4 later next
PS4
year.
and PC next year. Yeah, but I really do enjoy what I'm playing so far. You know, playing the 2013 one really kind of trained me like exactly how to play this one, and I'm kind of like blowing through it quick.
Do you start with the abilities and stuff that she had at the end of the last game? Or
No, you got to earn everything again.
I think it actually was 2012. Now that I'm thinking about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
You got to earn everything again, and you the whole campfire upgrading system is there.
You don't import your save.
No, there's none of that. But there's a lot of crafting. There's a lot of resource gathering. Every place you go, there's like 30,000 things that are floating around in that map, and you got to get everything. And you make your bows, and you make your arrows, and now you can make like little grenades, like you could do in
Some improvised weapons.
The Last of Us. You improvise a lot. You're on the run a lot, and you're healing yourself while you're running, and it's it's fun, but it's easy.
Is there a difficulty setting? Because everybody knows you play it on heroic.
No, I play it on normal. I play everything on normal.
It was supposed to come out in 2012. It came out in early 2013. That's what it
Gotcha.
was. Finally nailed that down.
I think it's a little easy on the normal setting, but
I love, again, just going back, I really like what they were trying to do with Larry the Maker, make you connect with her more.
Okay.
And I hope that continues. I think that's what I'm kind of going back to, like, I wish they would explore some of that stuff of, I'm not a killer, I'm in a bad situation.
Right.
So I have high hopes.
think-
I really like that one, maybe more than some other people.
I
think it was well liked,
I
wasn't
thought
it?
it was great.
It was generally well liked. I would
It
say.
was a little divisive.
And I love the collectible stuff, and you do sort of have that same thing where you're in an area early in the game, and you can't bring that
Yep.
thing down,
Like
just
Metroid,
yet.
the Metroid style.
where things are gated, and then you
So,
earn it. And
my thing
you
is,
can
like,
fast travel. And
I definitely was like totally into games like that at the time. Like I was completely
Talking
on board.
OG?
We're talking OG reboot. We're talking 2013.
Okay.
But like it's been 2 years of having this long conversation about the style of open world crafting, Ubisoft, influence.
I kind of don't
Far
even want
Cry-ish.
to call this an open world game.
It doesn't do that stuff.
I mean, you can go fast travel
Because like
back.
when you say like when you go to a place, there's some icons there for things to do and like things to collect. That's the thing that it sounds like in my head. Is it not? It's
But
not
it's not
doing
like a
that stuff.
full open world.
It's not full open world because
It's like
there
little
is a
segmented
linear objective
places.
that you're constantly
Okay.
chasing.
Okay. So it's like Last of Us then, which is like it has stuff to do.
exactly
It
like
has
that.
like some element of exploration inside of a big open box.
Right, but-
then you move from that box to a new box.
Right, but there's like a lot, the
Mini
map-
boxes.
The maps in this game are cool, like the one Russian base that everyone's previewing now. There's like a two.
Alright, I'm gonna shut that off since I'm getting pretty close to the end here.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2,
Oh, no trolls, no trolls. Of course. Scoopable star.
frameshift drive charging.
almost there. Almost there.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, fuel scooping.
What am I doing? The damn
Fuel
jump.
scooping complete. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Alright, this is it. Let's do it. Oh, wrong one.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
Alright. At the black hole. Snap our picture. Where is it? There it is. Alright, snap that. Well, we made it. That's it. I am done for tonight. Take care.